Hey, what's up, guys? See if we're on here. So I set the room up a little differently today. Some more light in here. Can't see yet what I've got going on over here. Sheesh. So I hope this is coming across good for you guys. Anyhow, if this works, I'll keep going in this direction. So I got two figures this week. I got the Thor Ragnarok Loki, and the one I'd really been looking forward to, the Mark 46 concept version. So, see if we can't get this straightened up here just a bit. How are y'all doing today? Let's start with the Loki. I don't believe I've owned a Loki. Always wanted to get a hold of the Avengers Loki. And I'll get one sooner or later, I'm sure. This one looked pretty promising. Of course, I got this from the Big Bad Toy Store. Well, you don't pay for it until it arrives in their store. And I have to say, man, I really enjoyed Thor Ragnarok. I thought it was an amazing, very good movie. Came out when people were hating on Star Wars and hating on Justice League, and so I think a lot of the were giving Thor Ragnarok was they were trying to make it out like as if it was a bad movie. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie at all. It's pretty clever. So here's the outside of the box. Got the gold Loki up here. Yellow on the back. Green and yellow. And here's the people responsible for this figure. Let's see, who do we have in here? Do we know specifically? The head was painted by J.C. Hong and E. Lee. And the head art was directed by J.C. Hong. So there's that. There he is in the box. We get this. That's cool. So let's get him totally out of the box here. Rick, how's it going, man? How you doing? Good seeing you. Glad you could make it this week. Right. So we have the Tesseract again, which I have currently. My Tesseract is in Johann Schmidt's hand. See if there's any difference in this one. It appears to be a little larger. Let's see what Johann's got over here. Now Johann's is a little green. This one's blue. Other than that, they're identical sizes. Obviously, I would imagine it would be the same. Or would this be the one from Odin's throne room, which was a fake? Thoughts? And a little pedestal for it here. My playback over here is just constantly stopping, so I'm not sure. I'm not getting any chat. I ought to turn that camera around, but what was that guy's name? The one that destroyed what was the name of that? Asgard. What's his name? This is cool. I've always wanted to get me one of these. See, the only Loki that I have is this Loki that I made. Third-party clothes, and then I bought the head sculpt off of eBay, and third-party came with this staff too. I really like it. It's cool, but I don't have an official Loki. So this is my first official Loki. Thank you very much, Ash. Yeah, that's right. I did not see that trailer. I'm at the point now where I'll like watch the first trailer, but I don't want to keep watching the second and the third trailer because I still want to have some surprise to the movie when I go and see it. You know what I mean? It's like I watched the first Captain Marvel movie or trailer, and I watched the first Endgame trailer, and that's it. I won't watch anymore because I want to, you know, sometimes they just get carried away and they just start giving away so much in the trailer that you don't even need to see the movie anymore. So I enjoy being surprised in the movie. I hate when they put this tape around these. Stupid. No need for all that. I have not seen Spider-Verse, by the way. I really want to. I hope it's still playing in the theaters. I understand it's a pretty good movie. And I don't know if you guys seen or not, but Hot Toys announced a new Punisher. I guess you would call it War Machine Punisher, and I guess it comes from the video game, because it's a VGSM series. And it's essentially, from what I was looking at, I didn't totally study the figure yet. But what it appears to me that it is the War Machine from Captain America Civil War. So it looks like it is this War Machine that they've just painted into a Punisher style. Paint scheme. So I don't know where I stand on that because it's cool, no doubt about that. But it's not Punisher from the Netflix series. though I suppose you could put his head sculpt on there if you wanted. So I'm not sure myself if I'm going to get that. Oh, a whole lot of unwrapping here just to get to the figure. So anyhow, from what I've seen initially, this is what the Punisher is, the War Machine Punisher right here. So if you guys were planning on getting that, it is available for pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store and other related sellers. And if you're a War Machine fan, it'd be great for that. If you're a Punisher fan, I'm sure you're probably eating it up. And Iron Man fans as well because of the armors. And this is a cool suit. This War Machine is really, really a really cool one. So I think it's a win-win in that regards. I just don't know whether or not I'm going to get it yet. And that's funny even to say. But it's because, okay, so like the VGM Spider-Man, so Spider-Punk, and the A Advanced Suit, or whatever it was called, I bought those because I'm a Spider-Man fan. Totally 100% Spider-Man fan. Even though I've never played the video game. But I don't know anything about this video game that this Punisher is supposed to be taking place in. So I have no connection. And of course I know the Frank Castle Punisher storyline, the many times that they've retold it from, you know, his original time. I mean, so they keep retelling the story to keep him like to today, because, you know, it's the same story, just different scenario. So I'm familiar with all that, and I can associate with Frank Castle and the Punisher, but I just don't have any connection to that figure. So I don't know. I'm really struggling with that, but I'm almost positive that this is what the figure is. So back to Loki here. Let's see what chats I've got going on here. What was his name? Yeah. Thanks. Let me see if I can bring this closer. It's too far away for me to even look at this thing. Nope, same, still using my cell phone camera. I just put this table here, put some lights up, and put my cell phone camera. I've got a 4K camera. I just don't know how to, a Sony Handycam, I just don't know how to do a live broadcast with it. So I would really love to be broadcasting with my Sony live, because that's what I do my videos with. It's a FDR AX33 4K Sony Handycam. That's what I make all my videos with. But I haven't made videos really a couple of months or more. So it just kind of sits around and gathers dust. That's crying shame. But if I could figure out, if I knew how to make that my live camera, I'd be using that. So my Samsung phone has a 4K, but I don't know what live broadcast is. I think it's probably 720, no matter what your 4K is. So I'm kind of limited at that. Thinking about Captain America, Fate, and Endgame. If he don't die or go back to 1940s, I believe they will remove serum from him so he can live out his life as an old man like in the comics. Interesting. They remove the serum. Will he go back down to his scrawny little 90-pound self? Question. I like Punisher War Machine. It's a good-looking figure. I hate the crotch grabber for the diecast figures. I like the new stand. You know what? And me too. Because when the diecast figures came out, they literally in the instruction manual it says, don't use a crotch grabber. It says you have to use this sturdy pole, you know, because they're saying that the weight of the diecast is too much. So I specifically change it out. No matter what they send me, I'm putting that in there. And I don't think this is what came with this. I think what came with this was a crotch grabber, and I think I put this in here myself. And I've talked about that on before, on how to do that. And these things are, as far as I'm concerned, these pieces here are gold. So I can't get enough of these to plug into here to be able to use the solid poles to hold the diecast figures. But that's what I do. I don't use the crotch grabbers for the diecast figures. It's insane. And why they do that, I don't understand. Now, on the other side of the coin, there is a crotch grabber that is designed to work with a solid pole, which is a rare piece also, and it's just a single plastic piece that hooks up underneath, and it slides down the solid pole and it hooks underneath, and I use those for like my Hall of Armor up there. Those are also rare. I suppose I'd be fine with that, because again, you're still using this solid piece here to hold it. But no, the little plastic with the wires, and they've got really no support. I mean, the little hook is like, you know how big they are. It just doesn't fit. It's insane. So, and another one that I think are like gold are the speaking of the wire ones, are the ones that go around the waist, the wire ones. I like using those for the female figures. So, but no, this one didn't come with this. I'm pretty sure that I customized this to be able to accept the pole for this figure, and that's how I do all of my die-cast figures, and figures that I want to put into flight poses that didn't come with them as well. Updated when on the Hot Toys page of upcoming releases. Robert, how's it going, man? Morning. I did have a good week. You mean like I've seen the upcoming page that shows everything they've already announced, and it's just a matter of it coming. Speaking of, I got notification that my Iron Spider is supposed to be coming soon. So hopefully next week I'll have my Iron Spider, which I've really been looking forward to getting. So let's see how this compares. So again, this Loki here is I think it's the Avengers Loki. I don't know what Loki this is. So looking at this, first off, Tom Hiddleston in this figure, and this is a Hot Toys piece, is a little darker than he is here. And I think this is probably a little more closer to his true skin tone, because if I remember correctly, he actually is pretty pale in real life. So, and his nose is larger in this one. In the new one, his nose is larger. So I thought they did a really good job with it originally. But man, looking at this now, I'm going to say they probably spent some more time on that. I was really surprised in Thor Ragnarok. I was really surprised how Loki turned out. I really actually started really liking him. And I'm not a villain fan. I don't much care for the villains. I respect the villains. You can't have a good guy without a villain. But I just wasn't a Loki fan. After Thor Ragnarok, I really became a big fan of his. Well, let's get Hela's down here and have a look at it and see if it's like Hela's cape. Black Panther and Thanos will be released soon. I'm still worried about the light-up paint shipping. But either way, I'm still excited. You mean because it's like a vinyl suit, and you think the paint won't apply to it because of that? That's a good concern, I think. I hadn't thought of that. All right, let's see how this compares to Hela's cape. No, it's not the same material. So Hela's cape is very diaphanous, and Loki's cape is feels more like a polyester silk, and this one feels like a diaphanous silk. So Hela's is really soft, and it's 2 layers, and you can see through it, whereas Loki's is one. Feels like just one piece, maybe 2 that are sewn together. Hard to tell. It's pleated to make it fall in a specific way. What would happen to my computer now? Jeez, I swear. I just totally blanked out over here, so I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it'll come back. Stupid computer. So no, it's not the same material as Hela's, but it's also not coarse. And I don't know what else I could compare it to. Thor, maybe? But no, it's definitely a different cape altogether. And I love this Hela figure, by the way. I think they did a really good job with that. Really digging that Hela figure. Now, of course, you know, with Loki's head, with his hair, there's not much moving you can do, all right, because of this. So there are people that will say that they hate the natural hair and they're all about the sculpted hair. Well, this is sculpted hair, and you've just locked this in. You know what I mean? So it really limits your posing possibilities. So we do have some down that we can do. It's actually a really good down, to tell you the truth. You do get a little bit of up there in the neck, but for the most part, there's no real side to side. That really is a totally different sculpt. They really must have spent some time on that. So don't let anybody tell you that it's the same head sculpt. That's a new sculpt. No doubt about that. And I'm not so certain that that actually looks like Loki from the front. Maybe it does. I don't know, man. Guys, you tell me. I'm not so certain that actually looks like Tom Hiddleston. I think his eyes seem a little narrow. I think somebody may have made a mistake. There's Tom Hiddleston. And there's the figure. So you tell me, what do you think? Is that him? Let's see if I can get logged back into my computer. I don't know what the world it did. Sorry about this, guys. Seems to be always a technical difficulty someplace in regards to these broadcasts. There we go, we're back. Elpa Chai, how you doing, man? I hope I'm saying that right. I love the head sculpt on my Hela figure. Oh, yeah, they nailed Cate Blanchett. I wish they had included the hair. Yes! Hello? Why did we only get the helmeted version? Come on! That's insane. That was stupid. They say when you put on his helmet, it looks more like him. And it does, I think. Well, let's put his helmet on and see where we go from there. And maybe that's why they made his head, you know, shaped the way it is for the helmet. I'm not digging it, man. I mean, I'm liking the figure, okay? But I'm not so sure that, pardon me. I'm not so sure the sculptor was channeling Tom Hiddleston when he was doing this. Let's see, who sculpted this? Dahai Kim. So, no, I'm sorry. Yan Sun Jeong is the head sculptor. And I'm not so sure that they got Tom Hiddleston on that. A little disappointed in that regards. So it's a one-piece suit. A lot of times you have limited mobility because of it. But that's pretty good, I'd say. That's really good. Starting to get a little stretch right here. So I think you'll be able to put him into any position that you would think you might want to put him into, especially considering it's a onesie. Arms are a little tight because of it. Which can be expected. I'm able to get this back to here and forward to here and up to about here. I don't know if I can get an over his head. I'm going to say no. I'm sure if you mess with it a bit, you might be able to, but I'm going to say probably not. And he has waist articulations and abdomen crunch. And he has ankle pivot slightly. You do have up, you have no toe, and you don't have very much in, but you do have a good out. So it's not bad. Again, I think this was supposed to be a boot. I don't remember. And that's always difficult to try to give you articulation when you're designing around a boot. But this is my first real Loki. And I'm glad to have him, especially from Thor Ragnarok, which again, like I said earlier, loved that movie. Really good movie. Really loved that movie. I've laughed a lot. I've watched that movie several times. And I've enjoyed it every time. Even though I know what's coming up. Doesn't matter. And I want to get the rest of the main characters. I want to get the Valkyrie. I want to get the guy that worked for Hela. What the hell was his name? And of course, you know, we have to have the gatekeeper. I don't know why the hell we haven't got him yet. Heimdall? What's his name? Wrist pegs, got some daggers, lots of hands here. Tell me again, brother, what were you the god of? You know, I don't remember my other Thor Ragnarok stand looking exactly like this. I think the other one was pink. Got it in a box. So it looks like they're getting a little different design stand for the character. So Loki's box is yellow and green. So Loki's stand is yellow and green. And Hela's box is green and black. That's her stand. So they're getting their own custom stand as well for Thor Ragnarok, which is cool. You don't see that often. In Age of Ultron, each one had their own different A. Other than that, Civil War was red and blue. But for the most part, they stay the same. Like Guardians of the Galaxy are all the same stands. So that's kind of cool. And I'll be using this for him to stand on. No doubt about that. It works. However, where he's going is only a 12-inch shelf. So unless I move my Thor Ragnarok to another shelf, which I'm probably going to, because the Hulk over here, he certainly isn't fitting on that shelf. So they're probably going to come over here. So they will be using the stand. No, they probably won't. They probably not. Actually, probably none of them will use the stand because I'm going to pose Thor with Hulk. No, maybe just Thor and Hulk won't be without a stand. Maybe everybody else will still be in the stand. I have no idea what I'm going to do. So what do we have here? These daggers look really cool. They're well, that's the sheath for it. Hell, I thought that was the dagger. Well, I'm an idiot. And it's kind of a black with purple trim. That looks really cool. I thought that was a dagger. Because Thor had like these blue swords or something, didn't he? Loving the blue paint scheme on those hilts. Man, those are cool. I'm really digging that. Can you see that? So it's like dark blue, light blue, dark blue. Really pretty. That looks nice. And that's everything he comes with. I mean, what more can he really come with? That's all he has. He's not a complex character in that regards to a bunch of stuff. But I'm going to have to look to see where the daggers go. I think originally when they were showing this piece, didn't they show his suit kind of being like bluish before the movie even came out? That's definitely black and green. No doubt about that. Alright, so it says we have a hand to hold the Tesseract. Where do I put that at? Over here. So we have a Tesseract holding hand. And we have dagger holding hands. So 2 of those. These are the relaxed palms. And it says don't poke yourself with the dagger. That's what it says. It doesn't say where the daggers go. Do you guys know where daggers go? I don't think we've heard from a favorite MCU movie. What is it? I don't know. Did you order Hot Toys Punisher War Machine? I'm not sure if I'm going to order the Hot Toys Punisher War Machine or not, only because I don't have any connection to the figure. I don't know the video game, and I know the Punisher from Netflix. I know Punisher, okay? I know Punisher from the comics. I know Punisher, like all the Punishers. I know the Punisher from the movie they did 20 years ago, whatever that was. And so I'm not saying I don't know the Punisher. What I'm saying is I don't know that Punisher. So I don't have any connection to it. And it's the this War Machine, I'm almost positive that this is the War Machine that they have used for the Punisher. Boy, what did I knock off here? 2 or 3 items. This is from Captain America Civil War Machine. So this is the one that I'm almost positive they're using for the Punisher. Jeez, good thing I caught it. I think it would have exploded on the floor there. I had to find those pieces. So I'm tossing it up and trying to decide whether or not I want to get him or not. Because I dig Punisher, and truthfully, I think because, like I said, I don't have any connection to it, I think truthfully if I were to get it, I would try to find another Netflix Frank Castle head to put on it instead of the video game Frank Castle. Because, again, I'm not familiar with the video game. And that doesn't stop me, because like I said earlier, I have ordered the video game Spider-Punk and the video game Advanced Suit, I think is what they were, to Spider-Man. And that's because Spidey and I go way back. And I definitely am digging Spider-Man and definitely digging those suits. and they 100% work. And I 100% relate to Punisher too. So I'm not saying that there's no connection to Punisher. There is. And that's why I'm struggling with this. I'm like, oh man, this is cool. It's the War Machine. It's that War Machine, which is a cool War Machine, and it's Punisher, and it's got the skull, the whole 9 yards. It's 100% Punisher, no doubt about it. And especially because we didn't get Bones, Crossbones. What the hell's up with that? I ordered the Crossbones from a third party. I don't remember who it was that made it. So that'll be coming, but yeah, I'm not so certain if I'm going to get it. It looks cool, but I'm just not so certain. I might, not sure. What we got here? So we got the chest piece, his baton. Hopefully that's all I knocked off. I'll have to check him out, see what's missing on my Punisher. Or not Punisher, a War Machine. Favorite MCU movie? What is it? Favorite MCU movie? I would probably have to say, and I hate to say this because there's going to be so many people that say that I'm so off center. It'd have to be Thor Ragnarok. It really would. I was just watching Captain America, the First Avenger again today, and that's a good one also. I like it when he rescues Bucky, and it's not in the movie, but he's giving him an update as to what happened to him, because Bucky's like, when he comes out of where he was when they found him, he's like, well, I thought you were smaller. He gives him the whole thing, and all of a sudden they catch up to Johann Schmidt, who removes his face mask, and Bucky's like, tell me you don't have one of those. Tell me you don't have one of those. I thought that was funny. I have to say it would be Thor Ragnarok. If I thought really wanted a money grab, they should have done a Comic-Con exclusive Valkyrie. Yes. 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 I so want a Valkyrie. I so want a Valkyrie. Fact. Heimdall. What the hell? Why all these movies, 3 Thor movies, and we still don't have a Heimdall? WTF? You know what I mean? Come on. Just Far From Home Tech. I want that Far From Home Tech suit. I don't like the color, but I put the suit in action pose. Can't remember on the basic pose. I've not opened up. Yeah, I have. I did have opened up on Far From Home. No, not Far From Home. I'm thinking. Oh, yeah. I seen the Far From Home suit when he first made a pop in on Jimmy Kimmel, I think it was, where he just walked into the stage while he was in the suit. And I was like, I'm digging that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. No doubt about it. I figures I'm so excited. We are Ant-Man, Killmonger. Killmonger's supposed to be coming soon. Iron Man, Doctor Strange also coming soon, and Batman. Good one, Ronald. Yeah, good one. Yep. That is a good one. So I imagine there's no storage of the daggers because, as we know, Loki's just like dagger shows up. He just makes them. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost positive, isn't he like the god of daggers also? I know he's the god of mischief. I think he's also the god of daggers because, like, I thought it was funny, and I may be wrong here too, but, like, you know what, I think this top of this hilt is transparent. It may just be the way the light's shining on it, but I think I can see through it. Right there, the pommel. It may just be the way the light's shining on it. Anyhow, I thought it was funny when Hela had smashed Thor's Mjolnir, and he went and seen Odin, and Odin says, "What are you, god of hammers?" And I laugh because I'm almost positive Thor is also the god of hammers, isn't he? I may be wrong there as well. Sometimes I just like make up facts that aren't even true, and then I'm like, where did that even come from? For some reason, I think that's the case. Punisher and the War Machine. Alright, we got a package here for Tony Stank. Tony Stank here. I thought that they would have continued that joke. Rhodey said that he would not let Tony forget that. I wish they would have made reference to that someplace. Good old Tony Stank. Stan Lee cameo. Alright, so I guess that's about it for Loki. Welcome addition to my collection. Another Tesseract. I'm not quite sure what to do with it. And did you guys say what this guy's name was again? I'm sorry if you did and I forgot. Next up, get Emperor Throne, Mondo Batman, hoping for Panther with Throne. There's a third-party Panther suit where you can put him in the throne. It's the black with the white lacing on it. You might want to look into that. It comes with the body too. The only thing it doesn't come with is the head. And there's a third-party head sculpt that was made a couple years back. You might be able to track that down. But that'd be great on the throne. I have no idea why Hot Toys is dragging their feet on the, regular clothed T'Challa. Doesn't make any sense. Pardon me. Doesn't make any sense. Then again, a lot of things Hot Toys does not make any sense. I imagine sometimes it has to do with licensing. I can't imagine why they wouldn't want to make some serious cha-ding. But then again, they make a giant Millennium Falcon and tease us with a cockpit that we never receive. Never can tell. Never can tell. Alright guys, what do you think? Mark 46? Jeez. I've been looking forward to this figure for a long time. Where's my Mark 46? He's over here, posed up against the cap. So I'll be able to put my Mark 46 over here. I changed my shelves around a lot. I'll show you that before we get done. You think 50 will come before 7? Was it announced before 7? I don't remember. No, life size. I want the life size Ant-Man. So, and when I say life size, I mean like 6 foot tall life size, because that would kind of be like real close to what he was in Captain America Civil War when he became Giant Man per se in the airport. So I figure if I had me a 6 foot tall Ant-Man, all I'd have to do would be to paint the blue to the red, or whatever it is, red to the blue, to show that he's growing instead of shrinking. And there I'd have a Giant Man. So that's my thought on that. Mark 46 concept. So when I seen this came out, or when they announced this, I was examining it, every little minute detail, to see what changes. And I'm not talking about just the paint scheme, but what design changes, if any, there were on this compared to the production Mark 46 or the Mark 46 from Captain America Civil War. And there were a handful of just little bitty pieces, like something was a little different on his shoulder, and something was a little different on his thigh. But for the most part, it was still the exact same suit. So I'm curious how that continued on. Okay, so this is interesting. This is not the traditional die-cast box. This is a sleeve box. Does that mean it's not a die-cast figure? Thought it was a die-cast. Wait a minute. Is this not die-cast? Yeah, it's die-cast D25. Very interesting that this isn't in the traditional die-cast box. Really interesting. I don't know how to act now. So they've been doing these weird little box things with the concept ones and well, I mean, there's only been one. So but this is pretty cool how they did this. And let's see, on the back it has the names of everybody who's responsible for this figure. Who do we have? Nobody that I'm familiar with. Cock and Tit, he's on there. So here we are. Now we're back to like your traditional die-cast box. I guess it's just a sleeve, but then also we don't have the plastic over the plastic, so we don't have like the double image that we've normally been getting with the die-cast. So again, it's still. I love the smell of a new figure. The same but different. I like buying Ant-Man in the multiple sizes and multiple scales because then I can show him transitioning. So a lot of this is going to be like no surprise, and just as we were talking about, stupid crotch grabber for a die-cast figure. What in the absolute hell? So I will be resolving that. Actually, no, because he's not getting a stand at all. Where I have my 45 and 47 on my 12-inch shelves over here, there's no room for figure stands. But he's going to go in between my 45 and my 47. But I'll tell you guys how to resolve that issue with this stand. It's real simple. I mean, really, if you haven't seen me talking about it before, or if you didn't already know, I'll show you. So every single one of these stands, so far, to date, they're all the exact same base. Alright? And they are all the base that has all 4 holes in it. So even though you can't see the other 2 holes, they're there. Alright? And you can just simply take a knife and just poke right through there to be able to put on the 4-plug pole, to use a hard pole if you want to do that. But this is just a sticker over this figure base, and all 4 holes are in there in case you wanted to use the pole stand on your die-cast figures. So you can still use this. You don't have to remove this. It's literally right inside there. And if you press real hard, you'll see a little indent will show up underneath there. It's there though. Trust me, it's there. I'm not going to poke this, but trust me, it's there. If you really wanted to make sure, just unscrew these 6 screws right here. They'll come apart and you'll see the holes in there. You'll know for a fact then. So that's how you resolve that. So these are the same pieces. Let me get this Mark 46 over here and we'll compare these as we go. And I'm using Falcon's stand for my Mark 46 because I have him in the fighting against Captain America pose. I'm just set him aside here for right now. These pieces are okay, a little different. Identical piece, maybe. Let's see. Alright, so the shoulders are an identical piece, just different paint scheme. So it has the red stripe right here, whereas the production piece is gold all the way to the end. Gold all the way to the end. I hope you guys don't mind me geeking out over this, because really that's what I want to see. I want to see what did they do differently between these two. It's really what I want to see. Ryan Meinderding. Meinderding? Is it Meinderding? And again, not many pieces with this, because it's not a Mark 46 replacement. It's a Mark 46 additional. So we get just the basics here. That's fine by me. I'm digging this. Because I'm going to buy every doggone Iron Man figure they make. Which is the dilemma with the Punisher War Machine. You know what I mean? I swear, man, I got it up there in Big Red Toy Store. I was looking at it, debating. By the way, normally with Big Red Toy Store, you do not have to put a deposit down, but because of the price of this War Machine Punisher, a deposit is required. They do that on, I don't remember what dollar amount that it has to exceed. I think it's $300. They take a deposit. Other than that, normally you don't have to put any money down whatsoever when you're buying through Big Bad Toy Store, and you only pay for it when it arrives in their store. So that's why I like them so much. I had to call Sideshow a few weeks ago, and I was discussing things with them, and I don't have any idea. What's up with Sideshow? Obviously, this came from Sideshow because it's Sideshow exclusive. It was only sold through Hot Toys exclusive distributors. So Sideshow, Toy Sapiens, I think, is a Hot Toys exclusive. There's only like 3 or 4 of them worldwide that could have sold this. So I had to buy this from Sideshow. Sideshow. And like I said, they're a little more difficult to work with, in my opinion, than buying through somebody else. So, and I don't know what the problem is. I don't have any idea what the problem is. Alright, so we get 6 hands, shoulder replacements, forearm replacements, and that is it. So the neat thing here is going to be what color differences were made on this. And by the way, look at my video that I made of the Mark 46. This is a cool figure. Or maybe it was the 45. I'm pretty sure it was the 46. All the lights on this dude, oh my goodness. He is beautiful lit up. Gorgeous. Absolutely amazing. This kind of looks to me like, you know what, when I see this, I see the original comics Iron Man in regards to the paint scheme. A lot of gold, a lot of red, about a 50-50 match of the two, you know, compared to the mostly red, little bit of gold on the this one, or, you know, for the most part, the Marvel Cinematic Universe Iron Man. But we don't get any of the little extra pieces that came with the Mark 46. Just 6 hands, shoulder, and forearms. And the hands you get are fists, articulated, and repulsor. So first off, obviously, are the hands. So these hands on the production are red and silver, which is indicative of the Mark 47, because the 46 and 47 are the same figure exactly. Just paint color, and I believe the little, I don't know where the missiles shoot out on the shoulders are different shaped. Other than that, identical figures. So the Mark 46 and 47 have the red and silver hands. This guy has red and gold. And what I'm looking for is not really necessarily the paint differences, because those are easy to spot. What I'm looking for, and like I said when I was looking at the pictures of them, are the sculpt differences. And one of the ones I seen in the picture was on the thighs. So let's see if that continued on to production, if there's a sculpt line that's different on the thighs. And there sure is. So we have sculpt line that is different. Unlike the 46 and 47, which are identical, this concept art 46 and this 46 are not identical. So you'll notice one additional line coming straight down the thigh on the concept art one that isn't on the traditional production 46. You guys see that? So that's cool as far as I'm concerned, because, well, that's different. It's not, you can't just say, oh, it's a repaint, because it really isn't. It is, but it really isn't, because of that sculpt, that one little sculpt line. First off, that's the first one that I remember seeing. I think I remember seeing another one in the shoulder. So let's look at the shoulder. Comic Iron Mark 15. Mark 15 Retro. Can you line up the 45? Sure. Sure can. Sure can. Let's look at the shoulder here real quick before I do that. See if I can see what that other piece was that I remember spotting in the pictures. Maybe it was the bicep. So I'm certainly not seeing any difference in the shoulder. Let's look at the bicep. It was... I swear I saw something else. And maybe I did, and maybe it didn't make it to production. And I swear I thought I saw something in the arm that was different. And I'm not talking about, again, I'm not talking about the paint. I'm talking about just like on that thigh, that sculpt line. Should be able to spin this bicep here. Yeah, there we go. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm not seeing it now. So one of two things. One, I was delusional and I thought I saw something that didn't exist. Or two, it didn't make it to production. Because I'm not seeing any difference in that shoulder. Nope. So the only difference I see is that thigh. And that seems, God, that seems so petty, so minor. but it's major as far as I'm concerned. That's it. I swear I saw something, man. I have to go back to the pictures and have a peek on that. It's not there down. You know what I do see, though, looking at the biceps? Let me look at this really closely here. No, that was just a optical illusion. Gosh dang it, man. They're identical. They are identical. Let's look at the backs. I don't remember seeing much of the back on the photos. They're identical. But red, mostly, some gold, a lot of silver on the production. 46, red, gold, very little silver on the concept. Let's get the 45 and 47 over here. Is this camera out of focus again, by the way? Can you guys see these? Are all these in the frame? Because my video footage is like way behind. And I'm digging these. I mean, all of these, all four of these guys, I'm digging. I mean, for real. So, Mark 42 and 43 are cool. Mark 44, the Hulkbuster, what can you say? But beginning with the 45, where they kind of really was, I don't know, hinting that it was like the bleeding edge armor, and then continuing on to the 46 and the 47 with, you know, the way that it fits, conforms to the body. It looks very muscly, very sinewy, very realistic to the human form. I really enjoyed that. And then, of course, the Mark 50 just gives a little tap and the whole thing just nanosuits onto him. So, I don't remember exactly what that suit looks like. But all of these I'm really digging. So these three here, not talking about the 45, are for the most part identical. Except for that one little seam on this 46 concept. So you have three figures that are the same. And even more so with the head sculpt between these two. So this one is the clean head sculpt, and this is the battle damaged head sculpt. So if you wanted to, you could put this empty head sculpt onto the 46. Ah, I just noticed another difference on the head sculpt. The helmet. See it, guys? That gold stripe. That's not just painted on, that's carved into that. So there's another difference. So the helmets are not the same. But these two helmets are identical. 46 and 47. 46 concept art helmet is not. Leg panels is different on the two. On the front, yep, that's what I've seen. I love the 47. Regret passing about panning about getting it for months. Then boom, it sells out. Did you not get one, Rick? Did you pass on it? I wished I had kept both Spider-Mans that I'd ordered from Spider-Man Homecoming. I'd order 2 of them because, truthfully, I need a Spider-Man for my Civil War and I need a Spider-Man for my Homecoming. Civil War, Homecoming. I need a Spider-Man for both of these guys. I have one Spider-Man, and he's going with this group. So poor 47 is left without a Spider-Man. But that's fine because, like I said, on the shelf over there, it's going to be 45, who really doesn't have a home either. Because where was he? Was he at the end of Age of Ultron? Was he? No. Was he at the beginning of... Where was 45? I'm so confused now. 43, 44, and then didn't he use the 45 at the end? Help me out. Don't remember. So anyhow, these guys are on the shelf, and he's over here fighting Cap. So I'm very happy to get him. I've been wanting this guy for a long time. But I have very Avengers, Iron Man, and new armor. I pre-order instantly, not taking any more chances. Rick, are you going to be getting the War Machine then? Robert, kind of like to get a Power Pose 46 as a double, but even that's crazy expensive. Is it? I remember when the Power Pose first came out, they were like $189. How much are they selling for now? Are they more than that? $45. I thought it was in Age of Ultron. Yeah, I thought it was. I couldn't remember. It's been a long time since I've watched Age of Ultron. I really like that when he's fighting Hulk, when Hulk's raged, and he's in the Hulkbuster suit. He's like punching him in the face. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. And then I like when he, Hulk has to spit out a tooth. He's like, I'm sorry. Because at one point, you have to remember that Tony is only fighting him because he knew that he had to try to calm him down. He wasn't trying to hurt him. It's his friend still. So every time he was just beating him senselessly, that was a suit that both him and Bruce had designed. There was some little hint to that, by the way. To try to have a way of shutting down the Hulk should they ever need to, and sure enough, they certainly did need to. Oh, I'm not sure. The Star Wars figures are so difficult for me because I have all of these. You know what I mean? It's, just this month alone, I've had 3 Hot Toys figures come in at pushing $1,000, and there's still 2 weeks left of the month. And if another one pops in, that'll be $1,300. I can't. Sheesh, it's a lot of money. It adds up. It adds up quickly. It really does. Age of Ultron underrated. You know what I hate? I hate that we didn't get the Ultron Prime and the little sentries. I wonder how long, truthfully, Hot Toys is going to be able to ride this gravy train on the first 10 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know what I mean? There's going to be a point where people are just going to be tired. And we are just not going to get the figures that we really want. Like Happy, for instance. Why in the world do we not have a Happy yet? Come on, man. How many movies has he been in? And he was a director. And I think he was a co-writer on Iron Man. On top of that, a producer. Come on, I don't get it, man. I really do not get it. I hope they get them to us. I especially hope that we get the rest of the what we originally called the Iron Legion, the ones that were down the House Party Protocol suits. Those are the ones I really want. fact. Oh, wouldn't that suck if they rebooted the MCU? Ah, that would so totally, that would eat at me so bad. And I'm a little nervous about Captain Marvel movie, by the way. In the trailer, like I said, I try not to watch too many of the trailers because I still want to be surprised when the movie comes out. But when she's sitting there talking to Nick in a diner, I'm assuming it is, and she has this stupid grin on her face, which is like she uses her photon blast or whatever it was, proton blast, to blow up the jukebox. And she has this silly grin on her face, and I was thinking, why would she be grinning then? I mean, Nick Fury had never seen anything like her, from my understanding, at this point. It was supposed to take place, I think, in like the 80s or early 90s. And she just has this look upon herself of self-gratitude for blowing up a jukebox. Come on, does she not have enough wherewithal within herself to know that you just don't destroy something because you want to show off? I didn't even get that whole scene. And how do I know that you're, not a Skrulls and Kree? Oh man, I'm so mixed up. I don't even remember which one is which. Skrulls were the bad guys, right? And she just has this, this little look on her face, so she's all like this, just kind of a stupid little mischievous grin, like he, look at me. And I was like, what? Huh? It wasn't like she was having to prove. She was, but it wasn't like she was having to prove to herself to someone who was well aware of what she was capable of. She was having to educate him all along. And her proof is to blow up a jukebox with her proton blast or whatever it is that comes out of her fists. And Nick's like, and how do I know that that's like the other people don't have that? Come on, I'm with you. And I didn't understand that whole scene. And it's like, I started watching this television show called Lucifer on Netflix. And the first season I thought was pretty good. The second season I'm in 4 episodes, and I'm really like, why did they change the writing? And the writing can really ruin a character or a movie or a series. And I'm really a little nervous about Captain Marvel. I hate to say it. All the Avengers. Looks like it's a reject Chuck E. Cheese on. Can't see the jukebox here. My favorite armors are 45 and up. I'm with you, man. 45 and up are my favorite too. Sure enough, no doubt about it. No doubt about that. And that they're really, I mean, the light up on them, if you take the opportunity to light them up, the craftsmanship on them. I mean, the 42 and the 43 had some problems with the hips and the way that they worked. These guys, I think they just pop down without having to push a little button to make it release to move it down and around. So they really worked on things. And they just look cool. They just look cool. I mean, the Mark 7 is classic. Mark 4, love the 4 and 6. They're the same armors. Mark 5 because it's unique. I guess all of them are cool, but I'm really digging these guys. Really digging these guys. Let's see if I can get him back into his pose. I'll have to finagle him to get him exactly lined up with the cap. But for the most part, this is how he is. And you see it didn't take long to get him into position. What a great figure. The ankle pivot allows me to have a nice flat foot, if you guys can see that. The way the pieces move around the hips enable you to be able to put the thighs into positions in order to be able to get that. The way the joints in the shoulder pull in and out enable you to be able to position him so you can get both of these blasters from the repulsor thrusters to be centered onto the shield, which is really what you want to do when you're posing this, is you want them to come close to that instead of them being out far. You want to make them contact with the shield, because that's the big thing. You know, it's like in Marvel Avengers, the first Avengers, when Loki decides to slam Mjolnir into Captain America's shield made of vibranium. You know, it was amazing. So same thing with these repulsor thrusters here. You want to get them pointed right onto that shield. And let's get that down here. See if we got that posed up well. Yeah, not bad. Let's get these guys out of the way here. Not bad at all. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. What do you guys think? Can you see that? Did that focus in, or is it all out of whack? Iron Man falls out of the sky. Iron Man falls out of the sky by a tank, and Iron Man, one slams into the ground, doesn't get paralyzed in a weaker armor, but War Machine does in a more advanced armor. Did he fall out totally and hit the ground in the Mark 7? He did, didn't he? In the end of Avengers. No, Hulk caught him. Remember? He was falling, but Hulk caught him. Whereas War Machine totally smashed into the ground with a suit that was off also. But no, Hulk caught Mark 7 Iron Man. Drug him down the building. He captured him. Didn't he? That's what my memory's telling me. Am I wrong? So how long have I had you guys on the line here? A little over an hour. Glad to have you guys. Really appreciate every one of you stopping in here. I hope this this setup works for everything better. I hope the camera cooperates and focuses in. What an absolute. I really hate it when it's out of focus, guys. I really am embarrassed, and I'm sorry. Because what's the point if it's all out of focus? You know what I mean? So I'll be here next week. I think, like I said, I've got, I think it's my Iron Spider I was told is coming in. So I'll unbox whatever I have. Anything else? In Iron Man 1, he got shot by a tank. Did he? Was that when he flew back? I thought he dodged the tank. I thought he did one of these things like that, and the bullet went right past him. Don't remember. But was that who Doctor Strange was talking about, by the way? Right before he wrecked his car, when they were going through all of the things that, you know, surgeries he could perform, were they talking about War Machine? I think they were. I think that they said that that was one of his potential patients that he could have worked on when he was looking for something exciting. I am getting the other Doctor Strange. I don't remember what difference was between the two, but I did order the Infinity War Doctor Strange. Sure did. Sure did. So let me give you a little quick tour of the room here, what I've done. See if I can grab this camera. Don't know how much long the cable is. It stops recording altogether. It's got to be plugged in. Got to have juice to it. So up there I put these white light LEDs. So I have my top shelf lit now. And then I only had enough LEDs to do my Grail shelf and the Mark 7s. And right over there is where I had Hela and Loki from Avengers. And so that's my Mark 5 Iron Man 2 shelf. And right there is where I had the 45 and the 47. So I'm going to put the 45, the 46, and the 47 there with a stand in the middle of them. And there's some cans that 1/6 scale, same as 55-gallon drums. Thought about I was going to do something with that. What figures are you looking for, Marvel Universe Reverse? Seriously, we collectors need one larger. Yeah, right? I need a freaking 1,000 square feet just to be able to display these guys. Here's my multi-size Ant-Man. From Ant-Man. And a 1/9 scale Wasp. Yellow Jacket. And there's my Star Wars shelf. I put Rey in there. Kind of losing the light down there. She's light down here. Alright, there's my Star Wars shelf with my Fison Ray that I made. And down here is the Meinderding and Nier Automata and Daphne from Scooby-Doo and my Netflix Daredevil and my 300 over there. And here is my Captain America First Avengers shelf with the concept Captain America, Red Skull, and Johann Schmidt. And then up in here, I have fixed the yellow lights to the top of that. Put my Mark 23 on the Mark 1 diorama. So I thought that looks good, the Mark 23 shades. There's my Chitauri's, the Commander and the Foot Soldier, with all their little junk. And then I have another box of the Chitauri Commander and Foot Soldier. And, of course, here is my Hall of Armor and my War Machines with the Mark II that I painted out of a Mark III die cast. Didn't turn out as good as I thought it was going to. It was a commission job that I couldn't complete to my personal satisfaction, so I refunded the money and apologized profusely to the person who hired me to do it. I just couldn't do it. Bit off more than I could chew. There's my Obadiah stand that I made. Right there. Using the head sculpt from Ironmonger. And here we've got more or less the Avengers in one capacity or another. The empty spot is where Mark 46 and Captain America fight. And there's the rest of them with Spidey back there. And the Black Panther with third-party head sculpt, which really looks just like him. No doubt about it. My Guardians from the first movie. And I put Yondu in there with the little baby Groot reaching out. So that's not screen accurate, but it works. And there's the Deadpool shelf. And my Sony camcorder. So you have the Dusty and a Lady Deadpool from Toys R Us, Colossus from Toys R Us. And Sideshow Deadpool, and Deadpool, and Dogpool, and Squirrelpool, and Headpool, and Kidpool. Down there's my Doctor Strange. I put his little, let's get some light on that. When Hot Toys sent me my Doctor Strange box, if you remember, the Doctor Strange box had this neat little locking thing on it. Mine was totally busted up. From Hot Toys, it came like that. So I bought another box just to have that locking feature. And I cut the plastic piece out. I'm going to see how I have that displayed there, like as if he's spinning that. And there's T'Chaka and Infinity War Cap and Black Widow. And then there's the Guardians Volume 2 with Yondu with his new headpiece. And there's my Fison, Vampirella, and Lady Death shelf. See if we can get all that in there. Hulk's in the way. But that's then there's Lady Death, Fison Lady Death, and Vampirella, both the SHCC and the Asian version. And then in the other room I've got more pieces, a couple of gantries, whatnot. So that didn't change. So these were changes that I made last week. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the camera was in focus this time. I hate that when it does that. It really bothers me, because it just really bothers me. And now that I got this table here, let's see if I can't get back to actually doing real reviews in 4K. So I might do the 46 as a real review and really get in there with the camera and really zoom in on him. Show off all the amazing detail of this guy, because he is an amazing piece. And do some comparisons in that manner with the up-close 4K camera. I even have a scope cam that I bought specifically to be able to get up close with these figures to look at the details. And I don't remember if I ever used it in any of the videos. I did film using the scope cam once, and it's neat because you really can get right up in there. So I like this table set up like this. I think that's probably the excuse I needed to get back into making my videos. So you guys got anything else for me? Let's see what's going on over here in the chat. Yeah, Rick, definitely see you next week. I started playing this game. Jeez, I hate whenever I start playing games because they really consume a lot of my time. I started playing this game, it's been around a long time, called World of Tanks. So if you guys are playing World of Tanks or have ever played World of Tanks, come check me out. I'm in that just about every day, playing my little heart out, learning the game. I just discovered it a month ago, and I guess it's been around for like 10 years or something to that effect. So diecast Ultron, we needed full on Ultron in his final form, because the Ultron that they gave us, he's not all there. He's missing some of his final pieces, and we never got the Sentry either. We need both of those, and definitely diecast. I can't imagine why they wouldn't make him without being in diecast. You know what I mean? But the same token, it falls back under the category of how long do we have, really? How long do we have on these figures before it's just not economically feasible for them to manufacture them anymore, because people are burned out on it? Like somebody was saying a little bit ago, maybe it was you, about it would really suck if they decided to reboot everything after 10 years. It's normally not 10 years that they do a reboot. It's normally like 20 plus. So when you think back as to how fast these 10 years have gone by, you know, it's been 10 years since the first Iron Man came out, and that Hulk with Edward Norton came out. That's a long time ago. But it just seems like just yesterday, because all these storylines have just, you know, gone together so well. And now they're killing everybody off. Jeez. And we're still missing so many figures. Jeez. Time flies. Sure does, NKSG. Sure does, man. I tell you. So what's going on after Captain Marvel? Has anybody heard? What other movies or characters are they going to do? What about Adam Warlock and that whole storyline? Is he going to be in Endgame? What about any of that? You guys have any ideas? Obviously, we know there's going to be Spider-Man stories, but is that going to be a continuation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Because he's still owned by Sony, right? Mm-hmm. So, that shield doesn't belong to you, it belongs to my father. Oh, yeah. That was deep, wasn't it? That was deep. X-Men. Who owns X-Men now? Disney? Does Disney own X-Men? It was Fox, right? And did Disney buy Fox? Really? So Captain Marvel's going to be more or less the Iron Man? That's a tough mantle to carry. Fantastic Four and X-Men? Man, they've done Fantastic Four, what, 2, 3 times? They keep screwing it up. And I really wasn't a big fan of Bryan Singer's X-Men, by the way. Sorry to say. I mean, to some degree I was, but I didn't like how I felt that they were treating them. You know what I mean? So you think Sony's going to put Spidey into the MCU full on into the MCU instead of just a borrowed piece? I think he's going to be a regular character for the MCU. I'm trying so hard to be careful. Yeah. I can't think of a Fantastic Four actually that ever was good, to tell you the truth. None of them, in my opinion, were really that well done. Watchmen was good. Total different. Not the same thing, but kind of the same thing. And Spidey soon will be bought back by Marvel. That's their plan. So when you say bought back by Marvel, you mean like by Disney? Because Sony did good with Tobey Maguire, in my opinion. They didn't do so well with Andrew Garfield, though some people really love Andrew Garfield. I did not enjoy those Spider-Men. So Sony got a taste of the money, and they really got a taste of the money when they had him doing a crossover into MCU. So I'm not so certain that Sony would be so quick to give up Spidey. And there could be a good Fantastic Four. You know what I mean? It's all about, you know, I don't know how the magic came about with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Maybe it was because Kevin Feige literally had full on control and he really loved the characters and loved the story and loved the universe, and that's why we got it. You know, not to be bashing Star Wars, because come on, who isn't a Star Wars fan? I can't imagine somebody not being a Star Wars fan, truthfully. But this last installment of Star Wars movies and listening to the creators and all that, it's almost like as if they really didn't have any love or passion for what they were doing. And listening to Kevin Feige speak and the other people that were involved, Russo brothers and what's his name, Happy's real life, you know, hearing these people talk about the characters and the story and the universe, they love it. You know, there's a definite difference in that, and I hope that we get to keep that going on. You know, and that's what I'm kind of afraid of with Captain Marvel. Um, I'm really scared. I really am. Sheesh. I really hope my fear is for naught. I really pray that Captain Marvel turns out to be an amazing, 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 amazing movie. Because, as you said, Captain Marvel's supposed to carry it the next 10 years. This first movie will make or break that. Because if the first Captain Marvel movie tanks, that's it. It's over. You know what I mean? I heard that Aquaman was really good. I did not see that, and my wife brought that to my attention. So anytime my wife's talking about a superhero movie, a comic book movie, I'm really happy because it's not her thing. She doesn't care for them. She'll go see them, you know, just because I'm going to see one, and she may actually enjoy one, but you know it's not her thing. So when she said that she'd heard that Aquaman was good, hey, have you guys seen Aquaman? And do you have to see Justice League in order to be able to get the Aquaman movie? And do you have to see Batman and Superman in order to be able to get Justice League and Wonder Woman in order to be able to get Justice League? I don't know. So I didn't see any of that. I thought that everyone was saying that the Into the Spider-Verse was a good cartoon. Are you saying it's not? Yeah, I heard it was supposed to be good. World War Hulk. I think the closest we got to that was Thor Ragnarok. You know what I mean? I think that's as close as we're going to get to Planet Hulk. Rick, there you go. Okay. All right. Well, that's good to hear. Thank you. And that's good to hear. Thank you. So I guess both those things I heard, that Spider-Verse and Aquaman, were good. Um, and my question is Spider-Verse still in the theaters? Do you know? Because I really want to see it in the theaters before it runs out. I should probably check it out this weekend to make sure. So I think I've kept you on Puny God. Yeah. Avengers. Love that scene where you just awesome. Really good movie. So I guess I'm gonna let you guys go, man. Haven't seen it. Spider-Verse looks like a PS2 game to me. Sort of puts me off a bit. Well, one of my friends that had said that they'd seen Spider-Verse, had said that in their opinion, uh, the way that they did it was really the only way that it could have been done, because of the way that the other Spider-Men are brought into the multi-universe thing, you know. So if it was live action or drawn any other way, it wouldn't have melded everyone together properly. You know what I mean? Because some of them are specifically just a cartoon as it is, and they really can't be brought into the real world. So that was his opinion on that, and I can see that from the trailers that I've seen on that, and so I guess that's my justification for it, and I shared that with my wife too. So she doesn't like cartoons at all. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you all go. And I thank you very much for tuning in and spending the morning with me. There's a clip on YouTube of a Marvel game with the Watcher. It shows all Marvel heroes. The animation is stunning. What's it called? What do I got to type in to be able to find it? Give me a hint of what to look for. And I'm going to get out of here. Get out of y'all's hairs. Thank you, NK, for dropping in. Thank you, Robert and Rick, for dropping in. Really enjoy all of you all. I love every one of you guys. I really do. I mean, it's fun to share the hobby with you all. And I like showing off my figures. And I like talking to you guys. Definitely. I'll be here every Saturday. For a fact. Interesting. Could you imagine that being a movie? All right, man. I will see you all later. Catch you on the next video, and maybe I'll start getting with the program now that I got a little setup here, and to start doing some just like this. And I hope this is good. I'm curious how this turned out in regards to the layout for our Saturday show. I hope it turned out well. Thank you very much, guys. So I'll see you all next week. Happy collecting.